So much of things that we need to see about. Surely I do have to spell them out. Cause you know as well as I do, the only way is put in more effort and less play. Because now, more than ever, we must show.
Yes, indeed. The only way is put in more effort and less play. To build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, we must put differences aside and understand that this is our home. We need to enhance it. We need to transform it. We need to make it better, not just for us, but for our children and children. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, we have a unique opportunity to talk, to have a conversation using radio and social media. I want to encourage the viewers on Facebook and YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. I want to start off tonight by saying the Grenadian people are following keenly what is happening in our country. Not only that, great many of our people are students of history. And the last 20 years, the majority of voters, the majority of adults experience the NNP, and they are now experiencing this NDC. So they experience the NNP, they experience the NDC of old, and they experience the NNP again and again, and then we are now experiencing the NDC. But the majority of the electorate, those home and abroad, they experience both worlds, both political parties being in power. And our people have sense. Our people know what the NNP did to this country, and our people are able to compare what the NDC is doing at this point in time. So I had the opportunity to listen to a piece by Emlyn Pierre regarding health. And I took the liberty to read the 191 comments. Maybe by now it's about 200 on the MTV Facebook page. Because yes, I listened to what she had to say, but I really wanted to see what the ordinary Grenadian had to say about what she said in that piece. Boy, our Grenadian people ain't easy, you know. That woman get blows, real blows, you know. Emlyn Pierre got some blows in she clothes. I think she's naked politically now. Because Grenadians are not stupid. Grenadians are able to say, we experience you. You were there. You were in power. In fact, the last many elections, Emlyn Pierre was in the parliament. And she was a minister during the NNP time in government. So she's not new to government. So people are asking, what did you do? And what will you do differently to enhance the healthcare system? And there are people who know that the NNP was responsible for shutting down, for closing down the TAMCC School of Nursing. The TAMCC School of Nursing was very important to making sure that we produce as many nurses as possible every year. And an ordinary young lady from humble beginnings, let's say from St. Andrew or St. Patrick or St. Mark or St. John or Carriacou or St. David or St. George, could have easily accessed the TAMCC School of Nursing because they were not competing with foreigners. Let's say like SGU, where you have anybody and everybody around the world can actually access SGU nursing program to become a nurse. It is not tailored just for Grenadians. It is open for anybody. You see the difference? But the TAMCC School of Nursing was for Grenadians, indigenous to Grenada. So they would complete their training at the TAMCC School of Nursing. And then they would move on to do the RN exam to become a registered nurse. And I know about the TAMCC School of Nursing because for quite a number of training, the disaster management component of training, the EMT, the first aid, the disaster plan and how they have to respond to certain things. I was the one who did that lecturing. I facilitated that aspect of the training on an annual basis because NADMA had a component of that training that they had to do. So, I did the training. They moved at the stadium. I went at the stadium. They were at the hospital, the top end of the hospital. I did the training there with them, different batches of nurses. So I am quite aware of what I'm talking about. But I'm saying all of this to say that was a very good thing because an ordinary person who wanted to be a nurse could have easily accessed the TAMCC School of Nursing and become a nurse. The NNP closed that down, shut that down, and everything went to SGU. How many Grenadians could afford to go to SGU? How many? Now the government is pumping a lot of resources to get as many Grenadians as possible to do the nursing program at SGU. Scholarships and, incentives, plenty incentives. But I am saying further, Grenadians know who shut the thing down and the impact, the negative impact it had and continue to have on our healthcare system. Grenadians also know who called the nurses and doctors chicken thieves. They know, and not in Grenada. This political Dracula did that, No, he went overseas and he accused the nurses and doctors of thieving chicken at the hospital, the general hospital. So Grenadians, they know fully well who did that. Grenadians also know that PAHO, the Pan American Health Organization, and the World Health Organization, all of them, and CAFAN, all of them, advised the NNP administration not to build a brand new hospital at that location in the sea, or more or less in the sea, because the equipment, tools, and everything else, machinery and so on, will rust. There will be corrosion because, salt and that kind of thing. It's more or less in the sea. They were warned not to build it there, but still, their stubbornness. They also told them about parking, accessibility. They're not even able to do a helipad there. If somebody has an emergency, let's say somewhere in Grenada, now that we have a helicopter, we can easily have them flown to that facility. They don't even have that there. So they were warned, they were forewarned, told not to do it. But they still went ahead and do it. So if you go to the hospital and you observe carefully, you would realize that the equipment, the beds, the this, the that, they're rusting. They're falling apart. You just have to observe, right? But they were warned. They were warned not to. So Grenadian know. The Grenadian people know fully well what happened where that is concerned. The Grenadian people also know that the NDC administration increased the salary of nurses by $6,000 annually. So they are getting $6,000 more on their annual salary, $500 every month more. It's called an honorarium. Grenadians also know that the NDC increased the salary of doctors by $12,000 more annually. Annually means 1 year, every year, yearly. So Grenadians know that. They also know that the orderlies, they got the retroactive, they were made permanent. A number of them were made permanent. The number of nurses that were made permanent, removed from underground case and all kind of different agencies and made permanent. So Grenadians are fully aware of all of that. Grenadians know that the NDC renovated, upgraded, modernized a number of clinics, polyclinics, clinics, or medical stations. So the Grenadian people know that. And I am saying all of this because Emlyn Pear went on MTV and she said the following, and the amount of blows the Grenadian people gave her. And if you go on MTV Facebook page and you read the comments, boy, they did not ease up on her.
Opposition leader of the New National Party, Emlyn Pear, labels the healthcare system as a crisis in a sitting interview with MTV, calling on the immediate government to intervene.
I would describe the current situation as it relates to healthcare as a crisis. And I think every single person, regardless of their political affiliation, ought to be concerned. Concerned to the point that we are prepared to point out the areas of weakness and to recommend possible ways in which it can be improved, and that those who have the power and the ability to make change would do so.
Pear highlighted overcrowded hospitals, a shortage of medical staff, and a lack of essential medication as key issues pestering the sector.
There's an urgency for having a stock of basic medication. Too many people are complaining that they're not able to access basic medication at our facilities.
So I made a call today to inquire about medication, the availability of medication. And I was told by those in authority, those who are involved in making sure that medication, at least the basic, are available, that they have what is required in stock. And it is normal that they would use and then they would have to replenish, they would have to replace. So it's kind of normal. That's a normal thing, right? So to come on air and give the idea that they don't have medication and that kind of, that's a lie. That's a lie. In fact, they have more than enough. More than enough. There are things, obviously, that patients may have to purchase. That's kind of normal. Healthcare is free in Grenada, you know. There are little things that you may have to buy, but it's free. My mother, for example, she just did a surgery on her eyes and she didn't have to pay much. Yes, she had to pay a little thing because she has to buy, you know, the drips, the whatever, you know, that she has to use, ointment and whatever. But I'm saying that to say to you, it's not that expensive. In fact, I was speaking to a good friend. He said to me, he's doing some dental work here, came from the United States. He said they charge him 400 US for one, whatever he had to do in his mouth, right? 400 US. And then he said, nah, but he hot. But he came down here and then he checked the price. He said just $1,000 something here to do it. And he will do it here instead. But I'm saying all of this to say that these people are out there painting a bad picture of the healthcare system. The healthcare system will never be perfect. And in no country would it be perfect. But the question is, what are the suggestions? What are the recommendations? She's talking about making recommendations and suggestions, and she talking about strategic planning and all these different things, highlighting the problems first. And so my question is, up to this day, she has not put forward any suggestion, any recommendation, anything whatsoever. But she knows all the problems. But when NNP was in power, when she was in power, what did she do to improve it, to better it? That's the question.
In addition to that, we've been hearing about the shortage in staff. So whether it is doctors or nurses, etc.
Well, look, all around the world you go, there will be shortage of doctors, shortage of nurses. There will be, no matter where you go in the world. They would always want nurses and always want doctors. We must be eternally grateful because we have doctors who are actually going back into the community and they're available on call. So they're leaving, you know, you have a medical facility in some communities, and then you have a place where the doctor, I think it's the doctor quarters, like you have a place where the doctor will be staying, and you can call that doctor at any given time, and the doctor would respond. So you have to be grateful because the NDC, what they've been doing is fixing those facilities so that the doctors can go back there. All right, in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we are seeing that happening, and in some parts in Grenada. So you have to be grateful about that. The doctors are getting more money, so they are more encouraged to remain. All right, the nurses are getting more money. Under the NNP, that was not the case. So don't make people believe that nurses and doctors were not going or leaving for greener pastures under the NNP, because the money that they're getting now is far more than when NNP was in power. Not only that, a lot of those doctors are being regularized, made permanent. A lot of those nurses made permanent. But still, one or two of them will leave. I went to Tortola for a period of time to do a course some time back, right, at the Lone College there. And I saw a nurse from my village. And I said to her, you up here? She said to me, yes. She said she left because the pay in Tortola was far more than she was getting in Grenada. And she was able to get 3 other nurses to leave Grenada and go to Tortola to work. And they were being paid US. And then eventually she left Tortola and she went to the United States, right? But I'm saying that would always happen. There are teachers who would leave teaching here and go to other countries to greener pastures. That's kind of normal. That's normal. You can't run away from that reality. It's what it is all around the world. So to go on air painting a bad picture of our healthcare system, and people start asking, but you were there. What did you do to improve it, to enhance it? You call the nurses chicken thieves, meaning the NNP administration called the nurses chicken thieves. Right? Come on. Did you increase their salary? No. The nurses and the doctors? No. Did you made many of them or make many of them permanent? No. You put them under a agency. A lot of these nurses were placed under an agency. I think it was it Gren Case or Gren something? An agency, and placed on contract. You see, some of these people believe they could go on television, right? MTV. It's a friendly platform for them. And now GBN is becoming a very friendly platform for them because you have a certain producer who is there. So they can go on those platforms and say anything and think that Grenadians going to fall for it. But all you need to do is to read the comments under that piece that MTV did. Just go and read the comments. And you would realize, clear cut, that Grenadians are fed up with this woman. Grenadians dislike Emlyn Pear because you see, they could see through her. They could see through her. Just go and read the comments from ordinary Grenadians. And nobody not telling them to go and comment. That's people listening and commenting. But I am saying, folks, no healthcare system in the world will be perfect. None. There will always be room for improvements. I remember that same NNP just before the 2013 election, right? Just before the 2013 election, the NNP went to the hospital to bring provision and rice and other things like that to make the Grenadian people believe that they so care about the healthcare system and that things were so bad. But they did not give credit to Caritas, the Catholic Church, Food for the Poor, because the camera, for some good reason, focused the lens on the marking Food for the Poor. So they went in Caritas, they got some rice and some peas and other things like that. But what normally happens, the bag will be marked Food for the Poor. So it was not money or anything that they took from their pocket. No, it was not anything that they went there and they pick it up. But Caritas are custom giving the hospital, custom giving communities food and so on. These things. But they wanted to make a certain statement to paint the whole thing bad. So they're using the same playbook. This time they're bringing Fig and Blogger and so on there. Right? Because farmers not going to even give them anything to do anything. Because farmers already know that they know their intentions. They're motivated by power. They want power. They want to get into power. And they will do anything to do so, to get there. But I am saying to you, they did that. All the big TV and them cameramen and everybody capture it. They capture the thing, man. But now you see Emlyn Pear, doing a sit-down interview and talking about the healthcare this and talking about, and then you go back and you listen to her interview on Sheldon Scott talking points, the NNP flagship program, and you hear how she's talking about the new hospital and what she has to say about that, the negativity that's coming from her regarding the new hospital facility, the new teaching hospital facility. And I say, but wait, you so care about healthcare. You're so concerned about the healthcare situation in the country. You should be happy that the government is embarking on this project, a modern teaching hospital facility, not in the sea, but in the Calivini area, inland. Why? Why am I saying this? Normally, students at SGU, who pursuing medicine because they want to become a doctor. All right, med students. They would do 3 or 4 years in the classroom, on campus. And then they would do a next 2 years of practical training. Practicum, I think they call it. And they have the option of going to the United States or going to the United Kingdom. But when they leave, where they're renting, that landlord would lose that money because they're gone. The vehicle that they were renting from that rental company, they would lose that money because they're gone. The supermarkets and shops and bars and nightclubs and that kind of thing, they would lose that money because they're gone. This thing is common sense. They're going to complete their degree. But if you have a modern teaching hospital facility, then the students would stay because you're going to have an MOU established with SGU, and the students would remain here and do the practical aspect of the training right here. So they would do this full 6 years or so right here. And the landlord would not lose out. The person with the rental would not lose out. The supermarkets and shops would not lose out. And then our citizens would also benefit because with a teaching hospital facility, they would rather do a surgery on a real person than a mannequin or than some dummy thing that they have or some dead cops or whatever you want to call it. They would prefer to do the surgery on a real person and have it be successful. So you'd have specialist doctors right here who will be facilitating the training and the practical aspect of that at the training, the teaching hospital facility. This thing is kind of common sense. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or a genius to understand that. So it's a win-win for all of us. So you waiting to do some kind of surgery on your knee or your kidney or your prostate or your back or your, whatever part in your body, you might just be that individual to get that done right here. You have to understand this thing, So when you hear the woman speaking, you wonder, if you're concerned and you care about the health situation in the country, you should endorse and be happy about the new teaching hospital facility. You should be happy about the clinics that are being refurbished or reconditioned, upgraded, modernized. Look at the Good Hope Clinic right here. The service is excellent. The nurses at that Good Hope facility, man, the doctor who visits that facility, always on time, respectful, do a thorough job, very nice. That was refurbished. Yes, it was refurbished. And the Honorable Ron Redden, I think he brought a fridge there thereafter because, things were mixing up medication with, some medication has to be refrigerated with the nurses and they come with their food and so on. Because sometimes you cook on a Sunday and you carry your, the lunch from the Sunday that you put away for Monday. So when you take it out from the fridge, you get to work, you put it back on the fridge. And even during the week, because you may cook during the night time, put it on the fridge, and then you roll with it in the morning, you have to put it on the fridge. All right? So I am saying all of this, and that's just one. The Wester Hall Clinic. And we can go on and on. Hillsborough Smart Health Center. The Princess Royal, right? The one in Carriacou. They did some work in Maribor and they continue to. Today alone, they handed over 2 ambulances to the government. 2 today. I didn't see it on the news, I didn't watch all of them, but I check out the full segment in GBN and almost the second segment. I check out the full segment in MTV and a little piece of the second segment. But I didn't see them capture or bring the 2 ambulances that were handed over to government again through the intervention of government, some OECA something project. I didn't see that on the news. I didn't see the beds, the new beds that the government installed or put at the Mongi Hospital facility on the news tonight. No, you would not see that there. They're not interested in that. But to see Emlyn Pay with her stupidness, you're going to see that there. All right? Yeah, you're going to see it on the news. You're going to make the news. You're going to be there on the news because, most of the major news outfits, some of them, they're so bitter. You wonder. And a lot of them, during the NNP time, they got obliged to go to China, and then they came back and say they went to study in China. They went and see China, sightseeing, so they can come back as an ambassador to spread the good news about China. But many of them, they did not even spend 2 weeks in a classroom or anything of that sort. I could tell you, I know. I went to China on a high-level training, and yes, we spent some time in the classroom or in, Chinese Academy of Governance, one of the most prestigious facilities, training facilities in China, right? But they bring us quite a number of places to see China. In fact, I told a friend, and Benedict Peters, my former boss there, could vouch. I told a friend when that particular training was wrapping up, 14 nations were represented there, and they asked your humble servant, Kem Jones, to do the vote of thanks, to express appreciation to the government and people of China for affording us that opportunity. And I spoke eloquently so, confidently so, intelligently so, before Xi Jinping. He and many of the high-ranking members of the Communist Party, they were there, senior members of government. They were at that particular closing ceremony. I mean, the place was shut down for almost a week, sweeping and combing the area. But I did so representing my country. But I know when they talk about going to China and thing, and I know what they're going to do. They climb the Great Wall of China and they, right? So a lot of them got that opportunity. And for the first time they traveled, they moved from Grenada. They go to the United Kingdom. Many of them, they don't have a US visa, right? Some may have, but the majority of them don't. So they leave here, they go to the United Kingdom, and from there, they go on to China, all right? And then, they take photos, and some of them is the first time. It's like a kid in a candy store, happy and joyous. You see lollipops, you see chocolate, you see, that's them. And they believe that NNP was doing them a favor. So they became very loyal to NNP, even to this day. Even to this day. A lot of them in some of those newsrooms, those media outfits, right? So I know. I'm not new to this. I've been around a damn long time. So I am saying all of this to say they would always give the NNP a kind of privileged access. So more of the negativity would flow from those media outfits. They would not tell you that 2 ambulances were handed over today to government, to the Ministry of Health, so that they can continue doing their work. This is good. This is big. You're not going to see that on the news. Maybe as I talk about it, they may feature it tomorrow or the other day or the next day. But I am saying, folks, the NNP is very good at criticizing, at condemning, at being negative. They could see nothing good coming from Jerusalem. To them, everything is bad. They can see nothing good in healthcare, nothing good in education, nothing good in agriculture, nothing good in they can see nothing good. Although all these good things are happening, but to them, they could care less. And it sickens me to the core because this is our home. And a lot of good things are happening. Look at the amount of training opportunities for nurses, for doctors, for healthcare practitioners. Look at the amount of work being done on facilities so that the working environment, health and safety, work, health and safety, and so on can be enhanced. A lot of work is being done. But the NNP, man, anytime they get the mic, is to condemn, to criticize. But the Grenadian people are listening keenly. And I say to people, all you need to do is look at the numbers. Follow the numbers. The NNP, they have many different platforms spewing, pushing out their misinformation, pushing out their propaganda. Many different platforms and programs, podcasts, hostesses and hosts doing their thing. But their numbers are very low. Their numbers. Check their numbers out. Check it out. Their numbers are low. But consistently so, when I do this program, my numbers remain pretty much where it's supposed to be. Just check it out. So more and more people are interested in positivity. They're interested in Grenada. They want good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. They want betterment. And they know everything cannot be done overnight. There's no magic wand here. You could just, and everything just fix. They know. So it is important. It is important to understand our people. Our people are following what is happening in the country. And our people are positive in all of this. And they are happy with the performance of the government. And that's not going to change anytime soon because the government is performing well, excellently. So many a times when I see Emlyn Pay or any of the NNP people in the news or any news item, I listen, but I also read the comments from the people. And you'll get a feel. You would know what's going down. People dislike the NNP. They don't want the NNP to come back in power. They don't want to see the NNP back there because they experience the NNP already. They know what the NNP gives. They know. So, folks, I thought I should speak about this. And many of you, I mean, it's a piece that MTV did. All right. About 9,000 or so people viewed that. But the comments have been very, very negative towards the NNP, towards Emlyn Pay, and the whole NNP bunch. I really love the fact that Grenadians are following current affairs and they are chiming in. They're having their say in all of this. They're not just leaving NNP to say any old thing and get away with it. Grenadians are standing up and they are venting. And let's keep it up. I always applaud our social media giants. Well, I consider them to be giants. You continue to defend the government. You continue to defend the NDC. You continue to defend and promote the NDC and the government. And I applaud you for that. That's good. And many of you are not asked or, coerced to do so. Nobody calling you and tell you to defend government, that kind of thing, promote. And no, you understand that this government is trying and we have to help them along the way because we want them to succeed. We want them to succeed. So I want to applaud all those online who are doing a fantastic job in promoting the government.
NDC Women's Arm presents Women's Health Fair and Breakfast at Camerhorn Park, Saturday, April the 26th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Join us for a day dedicated to women's health and well-being. There'll be health and wellness services available, from blood pressure checks, blood sugar testing, food and nutrition guidance, women's health information, social development resources. The Ministry of Health will be present, and there'll be Reiki treatments. Delicious breakfast is $20. You can choose from roasted bakes or fried bakes, chicken and turkey, saltfish cake and saltfish sauce, eggs, smoked herring, cocoa tea and lemongrass tea. There will be items on sale such as clothing, brown provisions, fresh vegetables and more. Come out, enjoy a hearty breakfast, get valuable health checks and support local vendors. See you there.
Yes, so that's the women's arm of the NDC. They're having that breakfast. Please support them. They have tickets. I know Tio, she sold, well, maybe all already. She has some tickets and quite a number of other women's arm members and, from the different constituencies. Support them, support them, support them. And those NDC constituencies, if you have events, you can send it to me and I will promote it. Try to do it while I am on air. So even if you send me a flyer, even if you send me something to promote, when I'm on air, remind me, send it again, because I am not the kind of person who would go back in the 300 or 400 messages I have that I haven't read, right, on a daily basis to go back and check. No, I am moving forward with so many other things I have to do. So if you remind me, then I check it out and then I promote it for you. So every time you have to kind of send it for me, remind me, because this program is not one where I advertise or promote stuff every time. I only do that for the NDC, right, or government. Other than that, that's it. So again, if you send it for me, I will promote it once it's a party thing, once it's a constituency thing, once it's an NDC thing. All right? Because I know, for example, the Honorable Ron Redhead, he has, let me see something here. Let me see. All right. Let me see something here. I see Ron send me something, so I was checking it. Right, let me see. Yes, my good friend there, the Honorable Ron Redhead, sent me something here. Let me just. All right. Yes, that's I'm a good partner there. All right. So let me just. Right. So again, so if you send me something, I will promote it for you once it's NDC. Because NDC, we push and promote NDC all the way. All right. So see, the Honorable Ron Redhead sent me something there, the PRO of the NDC. Maybe, it's a little observation from my good friend from Karakou. All right? Good friend from Karakou there. He said he ran as an independent candidate for Karakou, I think. Superflying Fint, I think that's his name. All right? He's, let me see what he has to say there. The Ron Redhead there. Send that to me. So let me just throw that up quickly. Which one is it? This one?
As a former independent candidate that run in 2013, I always like to do my political analysis. We're going into the 3 years, 2 more years before election call. Now there is 2 horse in the race. Yeah, Mr. Andrew and Mr. Cox. It's rung the bend, gathering. Right now we are rung the bend. I know that Tevin Andrew right now is sharp. But when we straighten up to the home stretch, I know there's no way that Cox will be able to match up with Tevin, because what time is it. So my bet for the next election, straight off the bat, Mr. Cox, me and you is schoolmate, we same age group, but that young Tevin, I'm betting my money on Tevin Andrew for the next election. Straight win, and not only he alone, it's 50-0. That's my analysis.
Right, so that's Superfly and Fint. That's his analysis there. And, so many people are saying the same thing. So big up yourself, St. David. The St. David women's arm of the NDC, they too they're having a breakfast with a difference on April the 5th. That's very soon. Today's the, the 2nd? Today's the 2nd, 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. So that's Saturday coming one. Right? Corinth Community Center, breakfast from 7 a.m. to 12 noon, price $15, and they have a thrift shop also, right? So breakfast, the menu, usual, saltfish sauce, smoke herring, fish cake, traditional saltfish, boiled eggs, fried jacks, barbecue chicken, baked, fried, and coconut, fried plantains, fried cuckoo, fried breadfruit, and ground provision, cocoa tea, local tea, or juice. Tanya log, $5 and $10. Potato pudding, $12. Live music. Corinth Community Center. All right. Let me see this one here. St. George Northeast presents Brilliant Colors. That's a rum runner cruise on Saturday the 19th of April. Saturday the 19th of April. Boarding time is 7 p.m. I think I would be on that cruise, Brilliant Colors. All right. They have a solid bar. Free eats, barbecue chicken, lambi waters, turkey sauce, powered by Harmony Song. Aboard the Rum Runner 2. So that would be vibes on the 19th of April. Also, it will be, I'm actually planning. It is my intention to charter the 2 Osprey. I already spoke to them. Just waiting for full confirmation to charter the 2 Osprey, right? And go up to Carriacou with 2 boatloads of people as we celebrate 3 years in office. And what we will do is to go to Carriacou and look around for ourselves, right? Sightsee. We're going to have an event in Paradise Beach, right? So that's the intention. I will tell you some more about that. Just close to the 3 years anniversary. All right. So that is in the making. I will let you know. And maybe the price of the tickets would be about $100 or $120 return. All right. I think it's about maybe $100. Maybe about $100. Because normally the Osprey will charge $16,000 per boat return. All right. That is what I paid in the past, and maybe I can negotiate because I'm doing the 2 boats. I can maybe negotiate for it to be $15,000. So to pay them $30,000 instead of $32,000. So let's see how it goes. But anyways, I'm looking at that. So for us to go up to Carriacou and celebrate with the Honorable Tevin Andrews, his achievements for the last 3 years. They did a fantastic job, right, up there in Carriacou. So that's the plan. And I intend to go to New York the latter part of May, right? And it's my hope that we can have an event on the 31st of May, Saturday, the 31st of May, to celebrate in a big way our achievements, and not only that, to also highlight the progress being made with regards to my studio, all right? Studio construction and so on. So that is in the making. So I will let you know, the folks in New York, I would let you know about that. All right? But the tentative date is the 31st of May. Food, drinks, and a nice vibes, a nice time. All right? So 2 things as we celebrate 3 years. I will let you know that. So once the tickets and so on are available, I would hit you up on it. All right, nice. So things are well, so we're gonna, kind of nice when you go to Carriacou, a nice tour of Carriacou, and then we end it at Paradise Beach, eat, drink, party, have a nice time, and then we return to Grenada, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. Go have a nice time. Go have a damn nice time because, once you're around Kem Jones is vibes, all right? Real vibes too. So I would tell you some more about that as we move along. Okay? So folks, let us continue to forge ahead. Let's continue to forge ahead together. Understand the bigger picture. It's about Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Always. All right? Remember, this program is funded by people just like you, home and abroad. All right? I have been monitoring the pledge because what I normally do is just announce it, and I would send messages out to the usual people who give financially to the program. We are not there yet. We're not there yet. So it's my hope that, as I talk about it from time to time, the people out there who normally give or who want to give can do so. They can Zelle, they can WhatsApp me, they can holler at me, can give them the information, and we take it from there. But if needs be, I will do a pledge program because we have to cover the bills. That's important. We have to cover the bills to meet the commitments, to make sure that we're covered for the month. We have bills to pay. We have bills to pay every month. It's required, $8,000 to $9,000 to meet the commitments, to pay the bills, to keep this program going. So if you're out there and you want to give to the program, you can. All you need to do, you can WhatsApp me on this number that you see scrolling under the program, 1473-415-4817, or you can call me on that number, or you can use another number, 1473-403-1019. You can reach me. I can, give you the information. I can tell you, well, you can go to the bank, the Grenada Cooperative Bank. This is the account number, 113000516. The name of the account, Vision Information Services. You can deposit that there. If you're in Carriacou, if you're in Grenada, I can tell you where to go to give. If you're, it's easy. If you're overseas, I can tell you you can MoneyGram something. You can send it via MoneyGram or Western Union. You can Zelle it to Glenroy Bethel, number 1718-450-4436. So there are many means and ways that you can, Zelle or give towards the program to keep it going so we can pay the bills. That is so important. We have to keep this program going. This program is not just wanted, but it's needed. It's necessary. Necessary. So the little that you have, you must give towards keeping the program going. All right? It's not like we do ads and that kind of thing. No. We do the program, and the people who listen to the program, once you can afford, you can give something towards the program. All right? So you can holler at me, call me up, WhatsApp me, and I take it from there because we're still in need of a good amount to keep things going. All right? If that doesn't materialize, then I would have to actually do a program, do a live program with the pledge telling you how much is needed. So far, a number of people have messaged me who normally give, who I normally send WhatsApp messages to. All right? So a number of people have actually given a commitment to give something to the program. Some already gave, which is great. Right? And I operate. I'm a very accountable person. All right? That's how I operate. I can tell you that. So I would kind of keep you in the loop. So if you're out there and you want to give towards the program, you can. Again, you can Zelle. And if you're overseas, if you're in New York or in America, generally, Zelling is the easy way. And it's not expensive. You can Zelle to this number, Glenroy. Well, I mentioned it. You can Zelle to this number. All right. If you can't afford, you can't afford. But if you could, do so to help the program remain on air, radio, and social media. All right. That's very important. Very important. All right. So if you can afford, do so. If you can't afford, no problem. It's kind of understandable. All right. So you can Zelle to this number to support the program. Zelle, if you're in America, if you're in the United States, you can do so. And people can Zelle. But if you want to send money through WhatsApp, well, not WhatsApp, through MoneyGram and Western Union, you can send me a WhatsApp message. And you see the WhatsApp number there, 473. That's our code here in Grenada. And my number is 415 4817. 415 4817. All right? That's my WhatsApp number. You can also reach me on the other WhatsApp number, 403 1019. So you can send me a message. Hey, Kem, I want to give something towards the program, and you could link me so I could, where can I drop it off? Where if you're in Grenada, if you're in Carriacou, if you're in Petit Martinique, I could kind of let you know. If you're overseas, send me a WhatsApp message, and I can send you the name. You can send the money on Western Union, MoneyGram, or you can Zelle, and the Zelle is on the screen. You can just Zelle it to that number, and we keep it going. I'll update you, by morning time, by tomorrow. I can let you know how things go. The last time around, there's one or two people who pledge, but they might be in St. Andrew, they might be in a particular area. I didn't pick it up as yet, but I do know. All right, about 3 or 4 people. That's last month. All right, so but it goes. It's what it is. So just saying, this program is funded, sponsored, paid for by people just like you, who want to see it continue, who want to see it remain on radio and on social media. If you can give towards it, please do so. If you can't, no problem. All right, you're not being forced to do so. All right, this program is unique. It's different, uniquely different from the other programs. Totally uniquely different. Good? And don't worry them NNP and them. When they're running them out, all you need to do to say to them, but why on the NNP main flagship program, they asking people to send money to go to fetch something. That's the link, and they could go there and send money towards their operation. Ask them that. So don't worry them when they're running them out. I'm not perturbed. At the end of the day, this program is funded by people just like you who just want to see this continue. So the little that you have, the little that you can give it. In fact, I can tell you how much we actually need still. Still need $5,405 to make things happen, to pay the bills, to meet the commitments. We still need $5,405 to pay the bills at Grande Tang, to pay the bills here, to keep things going. Remember, I am not receiving a salary at the end of the month. All the money that comes in go towards paying the bills to keep this program going. That's what it is, period. And when we get the required amount, I normally stop. Because one pillar that I hold dear when it comes to this program for the last 10 years, going on to 11 May, we're in April next month, we'll make it 11 years since I've been on air. One thing I hold very dearly is being honest, being sincere with the viewers and the listeners. And once you have that, you're good to go. All right? That is very, very important. And that has been keeping the program going through good times, through bad times, tough times, good times, right? Or easy times. Good? So, folks, I thought I should say that coming to the end of the program. If you're out there, it would be good if you can support in any way possible to keep the program going. Good? So I will see you again tomorrow, God's willing. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the AM, the dynamic hour, tomorrow, God's willing.